All right, is streaming a hard job? Moist Critical's take. I think it is definitely a hard job, but we'll get into the semantics as the video goes along.
So weird how that's become like a debate. I'll say it for the people in the back. I've said it since day one when I started streaming, and even back when I was streaming on Justin TV in 2010. Streaming is by far the easiest job you can ever have. Like I think anyone in the industry will tell you that. There's different levels of stream effort. Like there's events and shit, which is very difficult to put together. So like Cutie Cinderella Streamer Awards, any type of big event, that stuff, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of moving parts and all that. But your day-to-day streamers, your day-to-day streaming activities, that shit is it's so easy. And I think everyone will agree. Playing games and getting paid for it, that is an actual dream job to every human being on the planet. Or if you're not even playing games, if you're researching whatever goofy stories, a fucking VTuber hit list or VTuber criticism hit list like this or whatever, easy stuff. It's an extremely privileged position. And I think everyone knows that. To me, I think what the debate was today, and maybe I'm misunderstanding because I didn't catch up with everyone's take on it, seems more about how you feel after streaming. Like,
Okay, well, that's an interesting one. I would say, like, yeah, I would disagree. I think it is a difficult job. I don't think everybody should do it. Is it hard comparatively to other jobs? Of course not, right? Even I had a physically taxing job being in the military, and even then, I would say like streaming is easier than that. But even then, streaming is not like the most cush job, right? I think it's cush if you can make it work around your actual life schedule. So if you can stream, because some people they stream like 12 hours a day. I don't know how the hell they do it, but if you could stream like a long time, like sit here for multiple hours, like me personally, I only stream around like 3 hours, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't do it. But other people, if you're a neat, especially, then yeah, maybe streaming is like the easiest job for you. But like for me, someone that enjoys being outside, someone that doesn't like to sit around all day, doing this stuff, it's fun and it's enjoyable and I love it. But at the same time, it's not like I wake up and I'm like, yeah, stream time, let's go. And I don't think a lot of people are like that. Even Charlie himself, he's probably more like, okay, let's get the stream started. Like it's not the hardest job, but it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's like super super easy, especially if you're growing, right? Because streamers that are growing, they have to participate in the rat race. So whatever the latest game is, whatever the latest trend is, they got to get on top of that. Maybe they got to do giveaways or whatever. Look out for scams, blase blase, right? But each to their own. To each their own.
you stream 9 hours a day, whatever,
That's
six
crazy.
to
Yeah, 9 hours a day is crazy. I couldn't do it.
9 hours a
I
day,
could not do
and
it.
then you don't want to do anything after, and that sucks. And I think that's a fine take to have. I mean, it's a long time to sit just talking at people, so I can get being exhausted by the end of it. I think that like the conversation got lost somewhere along the way because I get that
Okay.
you're talking all day at people, probably
Mm,
just want to call it a night.
mm.
Like that makes sense. No different than working a normal job where you have to interact with like fucking customers or something all day, which is significantly more miserable. In a stream, you can ignore assholes. In a real job, you can't. You have to interact with them. So I think that aspect is much worse in a real job than streaming as well. But I mean, again, I get if you're streaming for a long time, you're probably not going to want to do a whole lot afterwards. You might just want to call it a night. Like I think that's pretty understandable. Like you can't, yeah, exactly. You can't ban a bad customer. You got to talk to them. That fucking sucks. Streaming, you have the privilege not to.
So is that it? Is
But I
that
think anyone, any
I
streamer,
think this is like a neutral take. It's not a bad take. It's not a good take. I think it's pretty neutral. Like it's just up to the individual, honestly. Like some people can legitimately sit all day. Those people probably work like a desk job or work at security. People that sit down all day. Yeah, sit down all day, look at monitors all day. It's not good for your eyes.
in the
Yeah.
world would agree that it is significantly easier than working a real job.
Significantly. Hold on. Let me read. Let me listen to.
Would
Streaming
agree
is
that it
significant.
is But I think anyone, any streamer in the world would agree that it is significantly easier than working a real job.
Streaming is significantly easier than working a 9 to 5 or a real job. Because I'm guessing that's what the 9 to 5 or that's what a real job is. Significantly easier. Yeah, I would say yes. Also, depending on, of course, how many viewers you get. Are you making enough money? You know, are you taking sponsored streams because you have to? Because if you don't, then you'd have to go get a quote unquote real job. Or if you actually are a big streamer, having to market, do whatever, sell some shit, PCs, whatever the fuck big streamers do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could see it. I could see it. Definitely. Definitely. I could see it.
I think the nuance kind of went off the main path and the conversation got really diluted because it seemed more about like I stream this long, I'm not feeling like socializing anymore and it's making me a little miserable because I get that.
Yeah, like that's legit. Like if you're sitting all day in one room and you gotta, well, I also think that's part of why some people would say like streaming is very shitty because the fact that you have to come into your same room, whether and if it's your bedroom, then maybe it's not that bad. But if you have to go into your stream room, right? Like I go into my stream room, I go downstairs and I come in here, right? And you're coming into this area and you're sitting here every single day versus commuting. Yeah, I know commuting sucks, but if at least whenever you're commuting to your job and you're going to work, you could like look outside, whatever. And if you're going to a normal 9 to 5, you at least have coworkers that can help you get through the day. Versus streaming and like yeah, you're talking to the chat and stuff like that, but you're essentially just sitting in your own little world while life legitimately passes you by. Day in, day out, life legitimately passes you by and you don't realize it because you're so stuck doing these 9 hour streams, 12-hour streams. Hell, even the 3 hour streams I do, it's like 3 hours has passed. I could have went out and got something, but like now everything's closed. Like right now it's 1 in the morning. 3 hours ago I could have ordered some food. Now it's 1 in the morning. I can't really order shit, right? And of course, depending on the stream times, but regardless, time's passing you by. Yeah.
Same as working a real job. You fucking interact with
I think it
assholes all
depends.
day or whatever. It's a long day at work. You probably don't want to socialize. You might want to just kick back and go to bed. I think that's fair. That's fine. I don't think it's a matter of what's harder because I don't think that'll ever be a competition. Yeah, but working a real job, you don't get death threats all the time like Hassan does.
Okay, I think this is different. Okay, now the conversation's a little bit different because Hassan is not just a streamer. Like streaming is something he does, but he's a public figure as well, right? Which of course I think that goes into it. If you're a streamer, you're making yourself known to the public. Like more people know who I am than knows who my neighbor is, even though my numbers aren't huge. It's like statistically speaking, more eyes are on me, right? Whatever you say can and will be used against you, just in general. If you're upset one day and like you blow up, like look at Wings of Redemption. Like a lot of people clip him and make fun of him because he's fat and he's angry, right? So if you have a fat, angry guy getting upset, say, "Hey, look here, look, listen," and now that's getting clipped everywhere and and a lot of people have seen the clip, right? So maybe if you go out in public now, people will be like, "Hey, ain't that guy from the meme? Ain't that guy from the video?" Right? But then again, you could say that's kind of the same if you have like a 9 to 5. Like how many people, you know, get filmed and they're like working a 9 to 5 or whatever, and then they become a meme, right? I think it's definitely interesting. But like the Hassan thing, it's like, I mean, Hassan is a public figure. Like, who else is a public figure and their job isn't streaming and they get death threats too? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of celebrities that get death threats, right?
Yeah, you do. That happens in the real world too, and it's much scarier because the people are face to face and unhinged. But again, like I said,
I've legitimately never had someone try and threaten me in real life. At least, like, legitimately threaten, like maybe try and scare me off. But no one's tried to legitimately threaten me. And I feel like I shouldn't say that I'm part of the majority in that, but I feel like this is something everybody else got to let me know. Has anyone ever tried to legitimately threaten you or try and scare you away in the real world for any reason whatsoever? Y'all let me know, because it ain't really happened to me. I don't know. I feel like if I'm saying this, I feel like some reason someone's going to say that I'm in the minority. But I feel like this is a majority thing. I don't feel like everybody should be getting threatened all the time. But I legitimately have no clue.
I get interacting with assholes and whatever. Like, it takes its toll, and you don't want to do anything after.
Have experienced that?
But
I don't know.
It's still exclusive.
Like, I don't know.
Ignore it. It's not like you are forced to interact with each and every unhinged person in your chat. In a real job, you have to. It is your fucking job. Like, it sucks. The aspect of that happening on stream sucks, and it happening in the real world also sucks. Like, it doesn't need to be a competition.
Yeah, they both suck.
It's not one. It is much easier to just stream.
Yeah.
You have significantly more luxuries for it, and you're paid much, much, much better.
Bro, Charlie, it's time for you to make a new account, buddy. It's time for you to go ahead and get off that moist critical and go ahead and hop onto fucking something else and like put a wig on or some shit and change your voice. Cause brother, you getting paid better than a lot of other people.
For doing what 99% of the world does for fun, you get to do as a career. So there are some things that make it not cool, but those do not outweigh what makes it incredible. I've said from day one, streaming is the easiest job you can have. But I don't think that's what the conversation...
I ain't gonna lie. The easiest job that I know is being in the military and joining the chaplain assistant job. You legitimately have to just set up people's religious items, and that's about it. It's literally the coolest fucking job you could ever imagine. Imagine streaming, but you don't have to stream. You just sit back in your desk and play on your phone until the captain's like, hey, we need to go set up some religious stuff. Or, hey, let's go walk the gun line and see if the guys are okay. Or if anybody needs to prayer. Now, if it's wartime and you're a chaplain assistant, that's a bit different because then you're a bodyguard. But, you know, I don't know how many times they try and go after the chaplain, but hey, who knows?
Was today.
Who knows?
I think everything just got...
That's just the cushiest job that I know. Y'all let me know if y'all know something cushier. There's a lot of cush jobs out there in real life that a lot of people don't know about because they're not advertised. It's just one of those, if you know somebody, you can get in and you get the job.
We had a dude come into Kroger's once and made bomb threats and found out it was a dude that lived in my apartment complex.
Nice.
That must have been so uncomfortable when you went home after he comes back from fucking holding. He's like, hey man, sorry about the bomb threats. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think that was Hassan's point at all. From what I didn't watch everyone's take on it. I just watched like the clip that started it, like the whole clip. To me, his take really felt like,
what's the clip?
I stream so long and I don't want to socialize anymore, and it makes me feel worse than when like a real or like a normal job. But not saying that streaming is harder, just more so he doesn't like feeling drained after it. Which is fine. It's not really, like I said, it's not a competition. I think him and everyone else on Twitch would agree. Streaming.
I think this is it.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean?
It's one of those fucking memes. Where's the original? Original. That's it.
Hassan Abi thinks that a 9-to-5 job is...
Bro, where is the original video? Oh, there's a full response. Bro.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
What?
In the
Real jobs do suck the soul out of you.
Streaming absolutely will.
What kind of take is this?
They both will
Hassan,
suck the
not
soul out of you.
everyone's job is being hot in front of a camera and talking to people. Some people actually have to do crazy shit to survive, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, they do. They do. But damn, I want to see the full. I want to see the full take, bro. Full take. What is the full take? I want to hear the whole thing. This sounds wild, bro. I don't think I'm gonna find it. Everybody memed the fuck out of it. Shout out to Janari. Bro, I can't. I am sorry. Wait, what? The fuck is
February 25th, 2024. 44 years old Asmongold Zakhrar Television for the future of this present the truth, however.
Streaming is easier than
I'm not gonna find
99%
it.
of real world.
I'm not gonna find it.
His point, I think, was just what I said, where you stream 9 hours talking at people, you probably don't want to do much else after that, and it eats up like your whole day. Just like
Everybody memed
where
it.
you work 9 hours.
Everybody
interacting
memed
with
it. I
people,
can't find it.
A lot of shitty people you don't want to interact with, but have to because it's your job in the real world. You can't ignore it like you can on stream, and you feel like shit after, and you don't want to do anything. Like, it doesn't. The impression I got.
You know what's funny? Because kids asked me this question. He said, "Do I think streaming is harder than a 9 to 5?" And I'd say yes. Like, yeah, streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. But if you give me some examples, like you could say, "Oh, it's not harder than being like an oil worker," and it's like an oil worker is not a 9 to 5. It's not harder than being a doctor. A doctor's not a 9 to 5. Like someone that checks in at 9 a.m. and then get off at 5 a.m. How many jobs do that? You know, cashiers do it. Restaurant workers do it, besides some people that have to stay longer than that. It's like they both really, it really does depend. Like, even like I said, like some people that'll stream like 12 hours, it's like that's fucking crazy. But I don't really know anybody that streams from 9 a.m. to 5. But streaming from 9 to 5, streaming 9 to 5 versus working a normal job 9 to 5, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's so many factors in it. There's so many factors in it. I think any job where you do have to have somebody talking over you, like management, I think personally would suck worse, right? So like then I would say like, yeah, the 9 to 5. But let's say 9 to 5 and it's doing a job that doesn't require management. I don't know. I think the streaming one might be harder, but I really don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm off my rocker. Was not that he was trying to necessarily compare one being more difficult than the other, just that he's feeling bad.
They both.
Like
I think
how
they
he
both
feels
are
after a
bad,
stream.
but depends. What are you
Plug your
streaming?
playlist.
What are you doing?
I have a link for it somewhere in the stream. I just don't remember what the command is. It's Prime Birdman. Post-stream clarity. R.I.P.
Post-stream clarity.
6 days a week. That does sound about right. No, yeah, there's a lot of streamers that'll focus on like negative chatters. I think KhunShawn's probably like the prime example of that. He fixates on like each mean comment. So I imagine his view on it is
His
damn,
is
this
probably
would make me feel
skewed.
so much worse than if I had to interact with customers. But again, I don't.
I mean, a lot of people like Hassan. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do like Hassan, but a lot of people hate Hassan. So I mean,
easier to ignore it on stream, and you wouldn't have to deal with it. Versus in the real world, where you can't, because it's your job. You have to interact with them. It's just one of those things where a streamer needs to ignore comments more often.
what up, bro, man?
Which I get. It's tough sometimes. I mean, I also respond to some mean comments. That's human nature.
That's interesting. I guess that's about it. Right?
Like I said, man, it's legitimately the dream job. What 99% of the people do for fun, you get paid for. Play a game. Read about interesting shit. Learn interesting shit. Or if you're a reactor, react to interesting shit.
Hey,
Couldn't imagine a
yeah. If anything, it's not hard. It's just very time consuming, right? It's a time consuming job. Very interesting. Y'all let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. I think they're both pretty shitty. And I'm sure there's a lot more shittier 9 to 5 jobs in streaming. But I'm sure you could be like, oh, well, look at this streamer, blah, blah, blah. They jumped off a roof because blah, 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 right? So I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation, though. Y'all let me know in the comments below.